Good morning. My name is Dr. Devra Davis. I'm the founder of Environmental Health Trust. It's an honor to be here with you today. I organized the hearing in Washington, D.C. in September, the Senate hearing as well, that we held, where we brought together experts, some of whom are in this room, to discuss the science. And I'm pleased to tell you that, in fact, it is no longer the case that governments are ignoring the evidence. At our meeting, we had representatives of the U.S. government, including the Federal Communications Commission, the FDA, and the National Institutes of Environmental Health Sciences, all of which helped to support the meeting and some of whom paid for the meeting. So I salute the welcome advice today from the Chiefs of Public Health here in Norway. We had a broad-ranging technical discussion. I'm going to talk to you very, very briefly about that and introduce this important panel, which it's an honor to be a part of. I want to salute Cindy Sage for her outstanding work with David Carpenter and many of you in this room for creating the Bioinitiative report. It is an eye-opening report. I recommend that you read it and look carefully at its findings. We have updated some of that, and that information can be found on our website, Environmental Health Trust. My job as the chair is to welcome you and to protect the rights of the last speaker of every session. But I want to make sure you understand the nature of the problem we're facing today. This is taken from the internet. This is what is the challenge. We are marketing cell phones now in the United States to 5-year-olds. What we know about these phones is they're very attractive. They glow. They make music. They're fun. But the question is, do children need cell phones? Do they need their parents more? And what are we doing to their brains? I am a cancer epidemiologist. Cancer takes a long time to develop. It's the wrong thing to focus on right now. We should not be debating whether or not we have proof that cell phones and electromagnetic fields cause cancer. Rather, we should be looking at what we know about the brain. And what we know about the developing brain is this. Myelin, which is a fatty sheath that protects the nerve cells of our body, and particularly our brain, myelin is not completely developed until the early 20s. Think about it. We want experimental evidence. Where are the control groups today? We are in the midst of a global experiment with no controls on the brains of our children and my grandchildren. And at this point, I think we know enough about exposure to children that we need to take precautionary action while we continue to do the important research looking at cancer and other long-term diseases. Now, I want to also warn you about pink washing. We've all seen people with pink ribbons. You need to be aware that sometimes pink washing is actually not a very good thing. And you need to understand that some companies now that are advancing the cause of breast cancer, as opposed to promoting it, actually have different interests at heart. The Finnish Cancer Society recently received 40,000 euros from a mobile manufacturer. Now, whatever you may think about research, and I am a researcher, so of course I always want more research, we know we have to do a better job of looking at where the money comes from. And when 40,000 euros comes from a mobile manufacturer to support breast cancer research, I think some questions have to be asked. I want to conclude my introduction by letting you know some of the recommendations from our workshop. And if you ever have insomnia, you can see all of them online at the website for our conference, and we also have YouTube videos. I also want to personally salute Elizabeth Kelly, because Libby helped to organize this meeting with me, and earlier a number of people in this room did as well. But these were the recommendations from our meeting: to ban cell phones used as phones to children, to require warning labels, to build phones that only work with earpieces or speakerphones, to use cables rather than wireless in schools and have shut-off switches in wireless-free zones, to engineer towers and wireless so that they emit 1,000 times less RF, which can be done now. And most importantly, when I testified before the U.S. Senate hearing of Senator Arlen Specter, to create independent funding of $1 a phone fee for 3 years to create the amount of money that is needed for truly independent research, because that is what is needed. Finally, I think we have to change the discussion scientifically and from a public policy point of view. And I say that as someone who was once an appointee of President Clinton. We should not have to prove that harm has already happened. That is the wrong question. But we have to show that risk exists. The absence of definitive epidemiologic evidence should never be confused with proof of safety. For more information on these things, you can look at my website, and there's going to be a major television program tomorrow. And I want to show you the movie that I received here from Om Gandhi that shows you what the difference is between what we know about the absorption in the brain. And this movie was developed by Professor Gandhi with a plastic model of a head, estimating the amount of absorption, and you see in the beginning an adult. This is no ordinary adult. This is a 6-foot-tall, 200-pound man with a 12-pound head. Yet that's the standard that you are using in Norway for your cell phones today. This standard shows you absorption into the head of an adult of about 2 to 4 centimeters. But look at the difference with a 10-year-old child. Here the absorption is obviously greater, going almost half the way through the head. Whatever you may think about cancer, this is what we know. The child's brain doubles in the first 2 years of life and continues to grow throughout adolescence. This is a 5-year-old's head. The 5-year-old's skull, of course, we know is thinner, has more fluid, conducts electricity better. We know that our children are having more learning problems. There's no debate about the increase in autism. We do not know the causes, and I stress they will be multiple. But surely we have to look at what role electromagnetic fields may be playing in all of this. Let me just tell you, some of you know, Niels Kuster is doing research supported by industry, and his work shows substantially the same as Professor Gandhi's. They disagree about details of the model, but the important thing is that they both agree children's brains are much more highly exposed than adults. And whatever we may think about the long-term impact of cell phones, we should not be treating our children like experiments in a subject without any controls. And now I'm very pleased to introduce Professor Johansson, who is a legend in this field and has done important research for a number of years. I knew him first from his movies, as he's also appeared in a number of movies about this, and I urge you all to look at that. Thank you. All of us contain DNA in every single cell in our bodies. And all of us have damage to our DNA every day. That's part of being alive. Normally, that DNA gets repaired when we're healthy. What you've seen here this morning is a variety of studies that can show you that the basic building blocks within the DNA, the nucleotides that tie it all together, can be damaged by exposure to extremely low frequency fields, by exposure to radio frequency. And radio frequency can be measured by intensity, how big the signal is, and by frequency, how often it occurs. And there's a variety of effects. Now, I want to mention Camilla Reese. Is Camilla here? Camilla has done an excellent job of combining information for the public. And I think it's really important that you take advantage of the work that she has done. Lloyd Morgan is here. And I would encourage the two of you, would you two please stand up? Because those of you who are here from Norway may have questions about practical things. Let's give them a hand of applause. They, like Cindy Sage and Libby Kelly, have been working on translating this information into ways we can understand it. And that is the challenge. The complexity of this issue, and I think there's no doubt how complex it is we've seen today, often makes it possible for people to be so confused that they do nothing. And we have reached a time, I think, where the science is driving the process, where at least in the United States and France and Israel, we are moving ahead to take public policies, and I think here in Norway you will be as well, recognizing that while the science is incomplete and while we always need more information, We know enough to take some simple actions now, and it will change the nature of our lives. There's no question about it. But we think it will change it far for the better.